Good afternoon, YouTube family. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Olutayo. I live in Maryland. I'd like to put this out there that I am not a doctor or a medical practitioner, but I'm speaking based on my personal experience, and I'm sharing this information because I'd like to, you know, create awareness for people to know certain things that it's not really a popular opinion or popular topic on YouTube. And this is based on personal story and experience of myself, not someone I know, not someone who I read about, but my own self. So, prior to now, I've carried you guys along on how I needed to do an Ishmael cell repair surgery to treat this Michelle condition, my recovery, and whatnot. How I discovered I had a condition, and the treatment. And I think my last post was maybe about 2 months ago. So after that last post, I of course got better and returned to work. I returned to work March 16 precisely. But before that, I had to go back to the hospital for a post ops appointment, and it took a different turn. So after a surgery, the tissue taken out during that surgery is usually taken to pathology for further testing to know if there's need for further treatment or whatever tissue that was taken out is cancerous or not. Just to rule out that there is no problem, that the patient is outrightly fine, to return to normal life. And I had my post-ops appointment on that fateful day. I went with my husband, and nothing prepared me for the news that I was gonna hear. Nothing prepared me at all, because I felt I'd done the surgery. I was fine. My scars healed very well. I thought my reason for going there was, for the doctor to check my scar, to tell me, oh, you're fit and you can return back to work and all that. And then, getting there, she told me, oh, we had to take the tissue to pathology. We tested for 3 things. 2 came out totally benign. The third one is inconclusive. Blah blah blah. We should get the result back in about a week or so, but you need to start seeing somebody else, an oncology doctor, a gynecology oncologist. And at this point, I was worried because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going on. So we left the doctor's place, and then I came home to do my research based on how the conversation went and all that. And when my results eventually came out, the third test that she needed to do, it was a phone conversation. I didn't need to go to the hospital to see her. And then she told me, oh, the outcome of the test shows that you have a condition which is called epithelioid trophoblastic tumor, and you need to see an oncologist. An oncologist is a doctor that treats cancer, basically. And she told me I had a condition and all that. So she gave me the contact of the doctor, and she told me she was going to send all my previous tests and reports, all my medical reports, to the new doctor. So I called the doctor's office and I scheduled an appointment to see her. We went there. She reviewed all my report and said, "You look very healthy. I don't know what's going on. I hear you have a condition. Tell me what has been going on with you." And then I ran her through, everything, my basic medical history, how I had my previous babies, previous C-sections, my last baby that I had, why I needed to do the C-section, all that. And she was like, "Okay, so how come you have this condition? Blah, blah, blah." And then she asked me about my period, my menstruation, all that. And then she said, "Well, from all your record, the last pathology shows you have this condition. However, it's a very, very rare condition, and it is very slow growing cancer, but we can't ascertain for sure how long you've had this in your body. But I needed to do some tests to ascertain the location of the disease, how far it has progressed, if it has metastasized to other parts of my body, if it has moved from one region, from one part of my body to another." So she asked I needed to do a CT scan. Fast forward, I went for my CT scan, and the result came out a week after. Thankfully, the tumor is still contained within my uterus. So the CT scan was to check, it was a chest, abdomen, and pelvic CT scan. So the result showed that my chest was clear, there was no sign of disease or any condition. Liver, down to my stomach, my bladder, colon, everything was fine. Down to the pelvic region, it was found that the tumor was within my uterus. So, when I took the result back to the doctor, she said, well, the next thing I needed to do was to do a total hysterectomy. And the reason for that was to prevent the disease from, affecting other parts of my affecting other organs in my body. So the nature of the condition, an epithelioid trophoblastic tumor, like I said in my previous video, is very slow growing cancer that begins in the reproductive organ, usually in the uterus or the cervix, or maybe vagina or something. And it slowly progresses, you know, through the body, and it can go as far as attacking the liver, going as far as entering into the brain. You can imagine. So for this reason, I needed to do an hysterectomy. This came to me as a shock because nothing prepared me for what that was. Nothing prepared me for to know that I had a condition or cancer or a disease, no symptoms of any kind. The only symptom I had prior to this time was the fact that I did not menstruate. And the reason I didn't menstruate was the because of the Ishmael cell condition, and I'd done a surgery in February to take care of that Ishmael cell condition. So I didn't feel I didn't have any feeling of anything. You can imagine how perplexed, how shocked, how emotional, I got, because nothing prepared me for the news that I had the disease, that I had cancer, basically. I'm putting this out there, like I said, for educative purpose, because it's it's totally it's totally shocking for a very healthy human being to go to the hospital and discovers that he or she has cancer. How deadly is this cancer? How it was treated? What organs were taken out during the surgery? All of this I will discuss more in my next video. At this point, I'm recovering well from my surgery. I needed to do a surgery immediately. I'm recovering very, very well. I haven't resumed back to work yet though. But guys, it's been a lot going on, but God has been faithful. I don't look like what I'm going through. I'll keep you guys posted on this ETT condition and everything you need to know as far as it concerns me. I would share in my next video. Thank you very much for tuning in, for listening. Please do well to share with your loved ones, and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.